Good morning, folks. Jordan here with the Nutty Gnome Homestead. Today is February 8th, 2025, and we are in one of our chicken coops getting ready to prepare our brooder for a new batch of chickens set to arrive next week. So, all across the country, the government's ordering the culling of millions of chickens. This isn't a conspiracy theory. You guys can look it up. It's happening. Egg prices are going through the roof. Price of chicken is going through the roof. We're seeing a big uptick in people wanting meat chickens, layers, pullets, all kinds of birds and chickens for their farm right now. We've been selling hatching eggs. We've been selling chicks. Guys, folks are getting a little more self-sufficient by raising their own food. I want to show you guys how we prepare our brooder and our coop to get ready for a new batch of chickens coming in. This isn't going to be very in-depth, guys. It's going to be very quick and to the point. So let me turn you guys around here and I'll show you how we do this. Now, as I said, guys, this is one of our two chicken coops here on the homestead. We have one that we typically use for meat birds and one we use for layers. We have a run outside. This was an old cattle run in for horses. We just converted it, put some fencing up to keep the birds in, keep the predators out. Swing over here, we got a roost, we got waters, we got our automatic feeders. If you guys haven't seen our automatic feeder video, we'll show you that. We do have 5-gallon automatic waterers, 4 in here. I've got them used in other places right now. But we can get quite a few birds in this area. I believe it's 16 by 14. So you can get quite a few birds in this area, and the outside run is 600 square feet. But what we're going to be focusing on today is our brooder. When we converted this cattle run in into a chicken coop, I wanted to put in a built-in brooder that was so it would be easy enough to throw our chickens in here instead of having them in a tote or a cardboard box or whatever else. We had someplace where we could always put them, where we can keep everything out there for the birds. This isn't anything fancy, guys. I use scrap wood to do this. Nothing on here was bought. All this stuff was left here on the farm whenever we bought it. So I made the frame for the top. We had some chicken wire that was left over here, a couple pieces of scrap OSB. And on the inside, we just have about 4 or 5 inches of wood chips piled up ready to go. Let me get the lid off of this, and we're actually going to dig down in here. Now, first things first, you want to make sure you got your brooder area secured. You want to make sure there's no place for pests or predators or anything to get in there and get your little chicks. You've spent a lot of money on these guys, or you hatch them, put a lot of time into hatching the eggs. We buy chicks. We also hatch chicks. We want to make sure they're safe. Occasionally, we'll have a snake get in here, but that doesn't happen very often, especially this early in the year. That typically happens more in late spring, early summer. But as you can see, we have our screen on top. We got a light on the back. These are just your standard heat lamps you get from your local farm store. I don't care if they're the white ones or the red ones. It doesn't really matter. As long as they provide the heat, we do have them wired up because I do not trust the little clips that come with them. See those little black clips? I don't trust those, so we actually run a piece of wire through the top. Let me take you off and show you guys this. See, we got the wire wrapped around here and tied onto it. We got the wire on that one as well. That's just added security. You'll also notice we have a piece of 1/4-inch hardware cloth running through the bulb protector on this. A lot of times when these heat lamps blow, they'll actually blow out. Glass will go everywhere, and you'll have 2 live wires hanging down there. It can start a fire. I've seen it happen personally. It's happened to us years ago. Thankfully, I was standing there when it happened. So we put this piece of hardware cloth, and all we did, guys, is we popped the bulb protector off. You see these wires that crisscross underneath there. We just popped them out. They just push out right here. Cut a piece of hardware mesh, put over the wires, and then reattached it. That helps keep everything contained, and we've not had any issue with fires ever since. I took that one off because I just changed the bulb. I'll be putting another one back on it here in just a minute. But what we're going to do now is, this is leftover bedding from our last batch of chicks. I'm going to shovel this out, mostly, and I'm going to get some new bedding put in here. Okay, we got it mostly cleaned out. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's just a chicken brooder. Now we're going to add a bag of pine shavings. This is going to act as our bedding for the chicks. Just dump it in and spread it around. Now I have a divider that we put in here to keep the chicks on one side of the brooder while they're still small. When they get a little bit bigger and they can handle a little more cold, they're a little more feathered out, then we'll actually take the divider out. The divider goes right here. So everything on this side stays nice and warm. The chicks are all in there nice and close, but whenever they start getting a little bit bigger, about the size of a Nerf football, we'll take the divider out, and then they can have the entire 15 square feet to play in. It works out pretty good for us, guys. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you get your birds. Now, the next thing we do is I like to make sure we have our waterer. That's just the standard 1 gallon waterer, nothing fancy. Zoom you guys out so you can actually see it. There we go. Pick these up at your farm supply stores. I'll put this in here. We'll actually get it put on a board so it stays up off of the wood shavings. We'll get our little chick feeder. We'll put it in there. We've already got our chick feed over here in our freezer that we use for storing our feed. We like to have everything in here in our brooder ready to go well in advance, because whenever the companies ship out the chickens, you never know when they're going to arrive. So you want to make sure you have everything prepared, ready to go, to where you can just turn on a switch, plug in your lights or whatever you need to do. Your feed and water's there, fill them up, put your chickens in, and you're ready to go. Last thing we do is replace the lid. And we are ready now for our chickens to come in a couple of days. There's a couple things you can do with it. Typically, we compost it. It works pretty good in the compost pile. We'll mulch in around some of our plants with it in the garden. But since we've had so much rain here and we're in the middle of mud season, I'm actually going to put this in several of our wet spots around our other chicken coop and our rabbit barn. That was so we're not walking through the mud so much. So right now, that's about as far as we can go. We got our brooder all set up. We have our feeder ready. We have our water ready. All we need now is our chicks. They'll be here in a couple of days. I am going to pick up a couple more heat lamp bulbs. These things have a tendency of going out when you least expect it, so it is nice to have them on hand. Little preparation is going to make your transition getting into backyard chickens a lot easier, guys. So I will bring you guys back when we get our birds, and I'll show you how we finish this project up. That's all there is to setting up your brooder, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a message down below or contact us over on Nutty Gnome Homestead on Facebook. If you have any tips or tricks for setting up your own brooders, things you guys do on your farm or homestead, let us know. Maybe we can help each other out. Guys, we're heading into spring. Chicks are going to be coming. Eggs are going to be hatching. Get out there, get a little more self-sufficient. Till next time, y'all stay safe.